Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Stefanie Drysdale's Weekly Cyber Recap, number 18. Stefanie, welcome back.
Thank you, Chuck. How are you?
Doing well. Friday, May 8th, things are starting to open up a little bit. I did some interviews this week about some new cyber challenges, configuration issues, because everybody went on the internet instantaneously. That's caused some cyber vulnerabilities. A lot of new cyber things coming, which makes it all the more important to listen to your weekly update. So tell us what's going on.
Thank you so much. Yeah, there is a lot going on this week. A lot of it's the same old, and a lot of it is a lot of speculation around how we're going to try to get things back to normal. So we'll just jump right in. This week, as we plan to begin to go back to a little bit of normalcy, there's a lot of talk about when we expect things to be safe to fly again. So like the terrorism levels, we're expecting there maybe to be like a 5-tiered color-coded system for the level of safety that we can expect with flying in terms of viruses and other things going on around the world, and the level of precaution that travelers can expect. So whether or not we'd have to wear protective masks or gear, pre-travel health assessments. I know in other parts of the world right now, you're getting like really quick 10-minute rapid COVID-19 tests to assess your health before you're allowed to get on an airplane. So we can potentially expect to see some of those things around travel, and then even potentially around hospitality and hotels. So the New York Times shared how countries like South Korea and Taiwan are learning to live with the coronavirus by what some might consider some extreme measures, some including things like temperature checks just before you can enter into a school or other venue, things around people not hugging anymore, and then cardboard cutouts and mannequins at certain venues to simulate a crowd of spectators. I'm hoping that the measures like that aren't necessarily widespread or even potentially long lasting. Let's hope that we can kind of get a little bit more, human contact in our post-COVID response and the future after that. So the Financial Action Task Force this week released a report on Monday that outlined some of the risk related to the pandemic, with an increase in fraud and cybercrime especially. So this especially impacts like the elderly and low income groups, mostly because of their lack of familiarity with certain online banking platforms and the technology that we're using to substitute for the human contact and all of those things. Make sure you always go straight to the source for those emails or any kind of outreach, phone calls you might get, and please make sure to remind your family to do the same. Sam Small at ZeroFox shared new NIST guidance for U.S. security and privacy controls. Always good to see these updated to reflect the evolving threat landscape. So make sure you catch those and make sure that your organization is aware and responding to those kinds of new threats. So Todd Fitzgerald this week shared a pretty hateful phishing scam that some people were getting that was notifying them that an employee had been terminated, and included a fake salary receipt. So it's an attachment. They want you to open it. It's a phishing scam. Definitely not something anyone wants to get. But the good news is if your HR department sends you an email and says you're fired, it's probably a scam. So don't click anything, don't panic, and just reach directly out to your HR person. ASIS has been announcing this week speakers and presenters for the upcoming GSX conference in September. I'm not sure yet if we're going to be able to see each other in Atlanta or if we'll be tuning in remotely, but either way, make sure to catch some of those great presentations when they do happen. Nabi Numer this week shared a Forbes article that discussed COVID-19 impact on both physical and cybersecurity. Always important, but now more than ever, it really forces us to look at the convergence of the two and fortify our positions in both. My friend Gary Sikich this week, the author of Protecting Your Business in a Pandemic, he shared a visual capitalist infographic on cognitive biases in the political arena, especially with so much bias, misinformation, and disinformation going around. It's really imperative that we attempt to filter the information that we share and the information that we're using to make some really important decisions. So make sure to take a look at that. Rich Mason reminded us this week that if you're one of the many cyber professionals that have been laid off during this pandemic, to kind of keep your bar set high when looking for your next role. Things related to compensation, the mission, the scope, the culture of the company. If anyone's looking for great talent, additionally, please message me. I have a few really incredibly talented professionals in my network that I know are looking for opportunities, and people that have asked me if I know anyone looking for opportunities. So while I'm definitely not a recruiter, happy to connect people, love doing that. So anyway, just keep your bar raised high on that one, guys. This is definitely a time to get some really great talent in your ranks. And that's all I have for you this week. I hope everyone took the heads up for Mother's Day this week and is going to have a great one on Sunday. Maybe we'll have virtual Zoom calls with mom. But other than that, I hope everyone is good, staying healthy, and hopefully getting back to some normal soon. And I look forward to talking with y'all next week.